Herschel Walker, of course, is now going to move forward to a runoff with Raphael Warnock in Georgia. And it's good that Raphael Warnock didn't lose. It's good that he was leading in the vote tallies. It's horrible that Herschel Walker could possibly get that percentage of the vote in Georgia. What is going on, Georgia? But I want to look at a few different moments kind of now that this has been decided, and then also on election night, kind of what he had to say to give you a little bit of context and perspective for what we're going into over the next month. Because likely if Nevada and Arizona go in the direction they're looking like they're going to go senatorial race-wise, all the eyes will be on Georgia for which party will have control over the Senate. With that being said, here was Herschel Walker's election night speech.
Hey, we're in a fight, are we not? We're in a fight. But hey, God is a good God, is he not? Yeah. And he put us here for a reason. And we're here to win this election, are we not? Hey, so I'm going to tell you this little story I've been talking.
Truly inspirational. Now listen to this story he tells and try to see if you can figure out what's going on.
Talking about these two little boys. And one little boy is always positive in life. No matter whatever happened to that kid, he was positive about it. But this other little kid was always negative. No matter whatever's going on in his kid's life, he was negative about everything. And the father don't know what's going on with these kids because they're twins, but they're so opposite. So around Christmas time, he tried a little experiment. He put this negative little kid in his room, nothing but brand new toys. But he put this positive kid in his room, nothing but horse manure. And after an hour or so, he looked in on this negative little kid and he was complaining, I don't want this, I want that. I don't want this, I want this. And the father knew that this kid is never going to amount to anything because nothing ever makes him happy. But he looks in on the kid that's in the room with the horse manure. He got a shovel. He's shoving his horse manure over his shoulder. He's laughing and singing and having a good time. First thing the father thinks, this kid's got to be crazy. But he said, son, what's going on? What's going on? Little boy says, you know, Dad, as much horse manure as there is in this room, there must be a pony at the bottom of it. And the reason I'm telling you that right now, guys, we got a pony at the end of this right here. I can tell you this right now.
All right, there we go. I see you, Herschel, rousing the crowd. So he believes that they'll be able to pull it through. And then here's him talking about what's the strategy. This is now after understanding that a runoff would be happening. What's the strategy going into the election in December? And he says he'll try to target people that he didn't get the vote of previously.
Well, the only thing I'm going to do different is go into some of the places that I didn't get the votes and make sure I get those votes because they need to know that I'm there for them. I think Senator Warnock has proven who he's there for. He's voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time, and those people need to realize what has he done since he's been in office.
All right, so if you were watching that clip for what Herschel Walker was saying, it was perfectly, just exactly what you'd expect. All right, we're going to try to get votes, and it's bad that Raphael Warnock voted with Joe Biden, even though a bunch of the stuff he voted with was actually really good legislation for the average working person. Okay, but I want you to watch this clip one more time and just stare at Ted Cruz and try to understand what on earth is going on.
Well, the only thing I'm going to do different is go into some of the places that I didn't get the votes and make sure I get those votes because they need to know that I'm there for them. I think Senator Warnock has proven who he's there for. He's voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time, and those people need to realize what has he done since he's been in office.
So I counted about 2.5 million head nods in that. Very strange, but it's crazy, you guys. We are going into another situation like 2020, but even more bonkers because Herschel Walker is such a caricature of a wild conservative candidate. And all the eyes are likely going to be on Georgia deciding the fate of the Senate. And I can tell you, I've said this before, I don't make the joke of I'm going to move to Canada if this happens because I want to stay here regardless of what happens, but I'm going to be so deeply scarred in my heart and soul if the Senate gets taken over by the Republican Party because of one senator, and that senator is Herschel Walker. That'll hit me to my core and make me lose a lot of faith in the people of Georgia, at least, or the ones who voted for him, in a very significant way. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.